Valentine's Day is a special day for all the lovebirds. In today's video, we have the perfect game for you for Valentine's Day. Who needs candlelight dinners, flowers, or a big box of chocolates when you have Patchwork Valentine's Day Edition? I'm April from Your Term Gaming, and today we're going to be playing Patchwork Valentine's Edition. Come join me as I teach you how to play this game, set it up, and how to end the game. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get to it. So to set up the game, each player is going to take a box or a board box. You're going to notice there's a red one as well as a silver one. There is going to be 2 heart tokens to match the color of the chocolate board. You're going to place them, I like to place them just slightly off the board so you can see where to start. Everybody is going to start with 5 of these little pralines. So the pralines are going to be known as your currency in this game, and that's how you're going to be able to pay for some of these pieces as we go along in the game. All the rest of the pralines are just going to stay off to the side, well as the other pralines with the numbers 5, 10, 20, and this special piece, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. This board in the middle is called the time board, and you're going to place it in the center of both of the players. So to play this game, you're also going to set up all of the pieces around the board. Kind of in a circular shape is the way the directions tell you to do it. This piece right here that has a 2 cost and a 1 time is going to be where Cupid, which is this piece right here, is going to start the game. And I like to start him just a little bit above. Because when we talk about how to play the game, you're going to see why this is very important to get started. So the player who recently ate chocolate is going to be the player that goes first in our game today. Now that our game is set up, let's talk about how to play. So this game is not necessarily run on everybody alternating who goes next. So it wouldn't be this player playing, then me, then back and forth. It's actually whoever is the last place player is the one that's going to keep playing until they are ahead. So you may say that this game may result in players playing multiple turns at one time. If both hearts are in the same place, like say they're both on top of each other, then I like to say the player on top goes first. So on your turn, you're going to take one of the following actions. You're either going to advance and collect pralines. If you choose this, you will advance your heart token on the time board right here. Occupies a space directly in front of another heart. So what that means is, say I'm the red heart and I'm already 3 spaces up on the board. What would happen is the white heart would take their heart and place it 1 in front, and then they would collect pralines to the number of spaces that they had to move to get in front of. So for example, if they started off the board, that would be 1, 2, 3 pralines right here that they would collect if they were to do this particular type of turn. So that would be the advance and collect pralines. The other option in the game is to take and place a piece. As I mentioned before, Cupid is a really important part because he tells you where we're starting. And I've said we're going to start with the 2 costs and the 1 time. So let's talk about how these pieces work. You're going to choose from 3 pieces in front of the neutral token, which is Cupid. If you notice right here, there's 1, 2, 3. So those 3 are the only pieces that you're going to be able to choose from when you're going to actually be able to purchase. So you would look at the number right here with the circle. That's how many pralines it would cost you to buy that piece. The number next to it with the hourglass symbol, that's how many time spaces you're going to have to move on the board as you buy those pieces. So let's just say the first player in silver decides they want to buy this one with 3 pralines and 2 moves. They would pay their 3 pralines from the 5 that they started with, put it into the bank, and they can take this piece. The next part of the step is they would then move the Cupid to that empty space, and then the next player would then would be able to purchase the next 3, or possibly buy that, or they could advance. So then with the piece that I just bought, I'm going to find a place on my board to be able to place it. And then also I'm going to advance 2 spaces. So I would find the matching colors. So since I'm silverish white, I'm going to take my white one, move 2 spaces. I also forgot to mention when you're setting up, you're also going to have these petit fours, and they're going to go on these spaces that have that symbol. What's special about them is that whenever the first player to get to them gets it, say this player passes the first one, which would be right here, they would be able to actually get that one. So they could either land on top or right one ahead. And what these magical pieces do is any time that you have like an empty space, they're good for placing single spots. Now keep in mind, you can't hold on to these for later. You have to play them immediately. That's just the way that the rules say it. But that is another important aspect of the game. So going back to our turn, we move 2 spaces. Then after my turn, I place my piece, I've moved my heart. It would be the next player's turn because they are further behind. So then they would look at these 3 tiles and then they would have to do the same thing. They'll choose. They have to look at the cost of what they can afford and then they pay their amount. So let's just say they pay 3 to get this one and then they move the Cupid and then they place it on their board however they see fit. And then they move 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. So then it would go back to the white person's turn. Okay, so now I've played a couple of turns, as you could tell from my board and the red player. Now I haven't moved the red player yet because I want to show you what happens. So I just bought this piece, as you could see on the camera, and it was move 2. So I go 1, 2. If you notice, I have now passed one of the pralines. And what this symbol means is however many pralines you have showing on your board, that's how many you're going to get paid. So it's advantageous for you to try to be able to buy the ones that have a praline available. So now it would be the white player's turn. And unfortunately, they don't have any that they can buy. So what would happen in this case, they would move 2 spaces, right? Because they're moving ahead. Now they also passed the praline. So they get their 2 for passing the praline. Plus they get an additional 1 because now they have the 1 for here. So in total, they would have gotten 3 pieces. So it's important to note too that when you're placing a lot of these pieces, you're not allowed to overlap any. So when I was placing the H shape, I couldn't go like right on top of. They have to actually fit like a puzzle. That's the one wonderful thing I love about this game is the fact that it is like a puzzle. And you have to be creative in your placement. Now you can't move things around like once you've placed them. So, you have to kind of strategize ahead of time and think about what you're going to do. So it's important to note too that when you're on the time board, you always are going to move your heart token, no matter which action you take, whether it's the adventure token or whether it's one that you're going to purchase. So as I mentioned earlier, there's another tile in which you can collect, and it is called the 7x7 square, as you can see from here on the camera. And what this space does is it gives you 7 points at the end of the game. It's a special tile that the first person that, if they're actually able to create it, they would get that particular piece to put on their board. It is very challenging to do. I have personally never been able to do it, but a person that I played with recently was able to do it. So you want to try to be strategic in your planning also when you're trying to do that. So I will show you an example in just a little bit on what it would look like to be able to win that particular piece. So now, as you can see from my board, what it means for a 7x7. So if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you go across 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you notice it's a solid square. So meaning you would have 2 lines that are pretty much empty. They can be missing, but if you have a solid 7x7 square, that's when you would be able to claim the extra 7 points. So obviously some turns have gone by in the time that I was able to collect those squares, but I wanted to show you how that would actually, what it would look like and how it would actually work. So you're probably wondering at this point, when does the game end? The game ends when both hearts have reached the last space of the time board, which is this part in the middle. If a heart token were to maybe go past it, say with all of their time, they would just stay in the middle. There wouldn't be anything that they could go back to because once you hit the middle, you're done. Okay, so now we are at the scoring phase. So how you would score this game is you would count the number of empty spaces that you have on your board. Each empty space that you have is -2. So that's why it's important to see how many spaces you might have. Because as you're collecting your pralines and as you're collecting hopefully your 7x7, you want to make sure that you have enough in order to be able to pay for any empty squares that you might have. Okay, so let's go ahead and score our boards. So if you notice, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 squares that are empty. So what that means is 11 times 2 is 22 points. So I have to subtract however many pralines I have here minus 22. So I happen to have 22 in my example, so I'm going to put that back in the bank. And honestly, all I have left is 7. The red player, on the other hand, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 times 2 would be 32. So they have to count out 32, and obviously if you look in their pile, they have 10, 12, 14, 16, 17. Obviously they end the game with 0. So then the winner would be the silver player. So you do have to keep in mind what you're actually paying, and then, like I said, the placement of this is extremely important because you want to be able to place as many pieces as you can in this puzzle game. As always, the player with the highest score is the one that is declared the winner. If for some reason there is a tie in the game, the player who reached the final space of the time board first is declared the winner. And that is Patchwork Valentines Edition. We appreciate you watching this video today. If you found it helpful in any way, I would really appreciate it if you could give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you are new to the channel and you want to see more videos like this, because I do videos like this all the time. Thanks for watching today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, as well as a wonderful Valentine's Day if you're watching this on Valentine's Day. Remember, friends, there's more games out there. Let's go play them.
Now that you've finished watching this video, be sure to check out our other videos. Please also like the video, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the gaming fun. There's more games out there. Let's go play them.